What's up, guys? Chris Reeder with the 615 House. We had Erin Kinsey on this latest episode. We talked a lot about her going viral over the past couple of years, but how she's actually been coming to Nashville for about 7 years now, and also what her DMs look like. Is it guys? Is it girls? Is it moms? I don't know. You got to watch the episode to find out, but it was a super interesting chat, and Erin's a real one, so go check it out. What's up, guys? It's Chris Rudiger on the 615 House podcast. We interview rising artists, creators, athletes, celebrities, influencers, you name it. And we talk a little bit more about balancing creative digital media with personal life and their career and their aspirations. This week, we got my good friend Erin Kinsey in the building. Erin is an awesome TikTok star, but you're bigger than that, Erin. You're bigger than that. I want to get into it. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
To be here.
What's been like your life the past couple months? I haven't seen. When was the last time I saw you?
I think we went and got breakfast a month ago. I don't know. Time starts to really blur.
I feel like got breakfast like a month ago, but then you were like on the road with Home Free for a while.
Free, yeah.
For like 4 weeks, right?
I went out with them for, I think it was like 15 days, but it was 10 shows in 15 days.
Yeah.
So it was my
That's
first time
amazing.
doing something like that, where it was that many shows that quick. I had to bring so many outfits. I was such a
Right.
big girl.
You just bring your entire closet.
I brought 2 suitcases because we were on a bus.
Yeah.
So normally I fly and I have to weigh my suitcases, make sure they're not over 50 pounds. It was
Sure.
my first experience where I could bring anything. I brought
Right.
my entire bottle of shampoo. I was like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I can just throw whatever on there. It was
That's
great.
amazing.
And I
Well,
went shopping while we were out on the
You're a
road.
rock star now. Were you doing buses or were you doing sprinter vans?
So they have a bus.
Okay.
And because they're an a cappella band,
Yeah.
they just had they don't have to have a junk bug for all of the guitars and all
Right.
that stuff. So I literally just jumped on their bus
Yeah.
with them and their crew.
That is
It was
amazing. Let's
awesome.
go.
I got so spoiled. So spoiled.
I was gonna say now you're gonna go back to playing shows in like a crappy sprinter van with like
Oh my gosh, or fly dates.
8 guys,
I know.
and fly dates, and
It's-
be like, wait, where's my bus?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that I'm about to get knocked off that high real quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stay on
absolutely.
it as hard
Well,
as long as I can.
I'm super pumped to have you on because I'm really, really excited to talk about your career like the past couple years.
Thanks.
So I'm super pumped to talk to you because I feel like you have such an interesting story because you're only 22. Yes. So like you're super young for this town. You're already making
For sure.
incredible headway. And I think a lot of that is in part to social media, but it's a testament to your artistry as well. But just
Thank you.
being able to like utilize platforms and get to
No
where you
doubt.
are. Like,
No doubt.
how long you been in town?
So I moved to town about 4.5 years ago. I
Yeah.
graduated high school a year early and
Yeah.
moved the next day.
Yeah.
And so since 17, I've been here.
Right.
But
And where are you from originally?
Texas.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
What part of Texas?
Rockwall, so it's east of Dallas, about 30 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, I love it. I just flew in from like the holiday stuff last night. So.
Gotcha. That's incredible.
love
Do you
it.
still get like when you go home? Do you do big hometown shows now, or is everyone like?
Honestly, I go
Freaking
hang
out.
out with my family.
Yeah.
I honestly don't leave my house a ton. It's a smaller town, so there's not a ton
Sure.
to do, honestly. But I just sit around with my family and my family dogs and my sister and
Yeah.
follow her around, whatever she's doing. She's 17, so she's really
Gotcha.
younger.
Is anyone else in your family musical?
You know, my entire family loves music. My sister will
Mm-hmm.
not start driving the car until there's music on, a playlist. My dad is the same way. And my mom always has music going, but none of them like create music, I guess. I think my sister has a pretty good voice,
Yeah.
but she's athletic, so she plays tennis.
Yeah. Any like karaoke nights with the family? Has that happened yet?
It has not, but I have now added that to the list. I don't know how we have missed that.
Yeah, I went home for Thanksgiving and did a karaoke night
No
with my
way.
family. It was pretty hilarious.
sounds iconic.
Yeah, my dad. Well, he can't sing very much, but
Well.
he got up there. He was drunk, but it was fun. But so I think the craziest part is like your story. You're out of high school in Texas. Have you been writing a lot of music, or like was
Yeah.
writing still new to you?
I had already started coming to town a good bit here
Okay.
in Nashville. So
Yeah.
I made my first trip when I was like 12. And
Okay, so
my
you've been
parents,
here for
Yeah. We like did Dollywood and went to the Grand Ole Opry and like, just kind of did all the touristy things.
Sure.
But the next year I think I came up twice and like wrote with some people, met with some people, played some like really small writers rounds around town.
Sure.
And then as the years went on, by the time I was in high school, almost once a month I was coming up and playing shows,
Yeah.
or I mean, and the shows were more writers' rounds, but like having
Right.
meetings, writing with anybody who would write with me.
Doing the thing.
Yeah, doing the thing as much as I could. So by the time
Yeah.
I moved, I felt like I had like a community here. I mean, it's the only reason my parents were okay with me moving far away, not going to college, and like,
Yeah.
you know, trying to do the thing, is because I had already had a little bit of.
So how was that conversation with your parents saying, I'm not going to go to college, I'm going to be a professional musician?
Honestly, I never had to have it. It was just the way it was. I did not have to sit them down and be like, I'm going to do this. I think they knew how much I loved it. And my dad and mom were actually the people who figured out that I could graduate early if I took 2 online classes. And they helped me sign up for them and pay for them and do them. And they helped me find a place here. And they were so supportive. And I've said this a few times, and it just sounds wild now. Like the older I get, I look at them and I can't believe they let me do this. But they never let me in on how crazy it was to go for this career. Like they made it seem like it was trying to be a doctor or something very specialized. Like you had to take a lot of work and a lot of time, but you could totally do it. And I never was let in on the secret that this was absolutely insane. And so here we are.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's cool that
it's
your parents.
awesome.
It's cool that your parents are supportive and like
Oh,
comfortable with you doing that.
absolutely. I feel very, very
know.
lucky to have that.
Do they? Have they come to any of the shows lately when you were like on the road?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They I mean, the biggest thing this year was the Opry debut, and they came in town with my sister. And it was just unreal to look at them and know that the first time I came to town, we came to the Opry and we saw Carrie Underwood at the Grand Ole Opry, and bought the T-shirt and did the whole thing. Like did the tour during the day where you go up on stage and like take pictures. And it was just wild looking at them. And I mean, the Opry is so cool. When you have your debut, they put them like right up front, like you can see them. And it was just crazy looking at them, and it was so surreal. But they come to as many things as they can. But as my sister gets busier, and honestly, they have a lot going on too. But they come to what they can.
Well, I think it's crazy that you've had. I mean, you've had like 3 or 4 Opry performances now in the past year, and I think a lot of that has spiraled from the big song, but also like your entire EP release and like everything you put out.
Thank you.
So how did your journey go from like Erin Kinsey going to Nashville writing songs with anyone that would possibly write songs with me to now playing the Grand Ole Opry? Like what was that? What was the spark?
I mean, it was definitely social media for me.
Yeah.
Is what changed things to where you know, I started having people reach out to me for the first time. I had never experienced that. No one reached out to me.
Yeah. Was it TikTok or Instagram or YouTube? Like what was the first?
You know, I had a video do pretty okay on Facebook back in the day.
Look at you. You're old school. Let's go.
Yeah. But it was like, I mean, a good bit of years ago now, and it was just me playing guitar. So for a while, I was doing that thing, and I mean, all I did in high school was play guitar in my room. So I, you know, learned every solo I could find, and just I wanted to do it as much as possible. So posted that for a while, and was absolutely terrified to post any of my original music because I felt like putting out into the world like that, I didn't know if I was ready for that or if I wanted to do that. It felt like such a big step, so I just didn't. And then eventually, I posted a clip of a song called "Drunk 2." And it was one that I wrote, honestly, about something that happened to a friend of mine. But it was just your classic, you know, they call you and, you know, this person that you like or whatever confesses their feelings. And the next day you find out they had, you know, been drunk. And the whole idea was that you just say that you were drunk too. So it didn't have to mean anything. You don't have to face it. But obviously, like, the singer was not. So I posted a clip of that, and just kind of, my sister said it was one of her favorite songs of mine. And I could not believe the amount of people that related to something that I wrote. I felt like it was so, you know, detailed and just in my mind and all this stuff. But to see that people related, and I was just not that special. Like, I was writing something that people felt and had felt.
Did it happen?
That changed
like,
things for me personally.
Did it happen overnight? Like, was it like?
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was a video I thought went viral at the time. Like, I think it got like 500,000 views. It was also when TikTok was earlier on.
Yeah.
But,
What do you consider a viral video? Like,
I don't know. Honestly, I think viral for me is kind of like whatever gets people to get off the app they're on and onto a different platform to listen to the song. I think like that is it doing well, which means that there's not a big number attached to that. But I'm like, I mean, the video was convincing enough, persuasive enough, whatever, so that people stopped what they were doing and started looking for my music. That's insane to me.
See, what's interesting to me is like that almost sounds like you're talking about like influential, like viral being influential versus like,
I guess that's a good point.
You know, well, no, it's cool. It's just like I think a lot of people only associate numbers with virality, and they go, it's like 5 million views is viral. Somebody else might say it's 50 million views is viral, but for you to be looking at it with the lens of if they're watching the video, but they're so engaged in that video that they then go to find another source of content from the same person, that's a cool way to define viral, I guess.
I guess maybe viral is maybe successful.
Well, don't change it. I'm not asking you to change it.
I guess
I'm just
that's what
saying
I think when a video does well, that's what I think makes it is the determining factor on if it did well or not. Honestly, I've really had to change my definitions on some of these things because numbers, there's so many factors. Right. It will mess with my head just too much to base it purely off of numbers. Because, I mean, there'll be a video that only gets, it doesn't even get to 10,000. Like, it is literally just 4 digits there. Right. And, but there's so many comments. And I think it's so easy to forget, like, every single person who left a comment is a person. Like, with a family and with, like, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And they probably have a dog and they go to school. Like, that's a person who saw that video, heard that song, and left a comment. And all that stuff means something. Like, just because it's not as many comments as you wanted, it still means something,
I was going to say, do you feel like we get caught up as artists and creators always looking for the next view and the next follow that we forget about the actual support and loyalty that exists? How do you deal with that?
Honestly, since I started playing more live shows, it's been a lot easier to remember, like, these are the people who are here. Yeah. I think typically, like, the people that are looking for those numbers to make decisions on whether you can release the song or whether you can play the show or whether you're, first of 3 or second of 3 or whatever, are not people who are in the social media in the day-to-day. And when you get DMs from a girl asking you what she should wear on her first date, it makes it so real and so tangible. Yeah. And, I'll take a girl that feels that connected with me and my music to where she thinks I can help her with fashion, which, I'm about to tell her that I can't. Something like I don't know.
I think you probably got a decent sense of fashion,
Lord, no. I get help everywhere I can.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's but, I literally do music, and that is it. Like, that is all I got. Yeah. But I feel like things like that are great reminders of, again, like, it's not just a person, it's not just a comment. Like, they have a life, and they're spending part of their life caring about your music. Right. It's insane.
Yeah, so, and, I know this, but people that are listening, if they don't know who you are, I'm sure they've probably at least heard a clip of Just Drive, or
probably,
unfortunately, or something.
Inside of my car.
Not only is it the amount of streams that's alarming in just like a short period of time, but it's also like I know that song's definitely been played in like malls and grocery stores and random places too.
Kroger.
Is it playing in Kroger?
It's playing in Kroger.
Do you feel like you've made it once you have a song that plays in Kroger?
Absolutely. The fact that there is a chance I could hear it when I'm doing anything is wild to me.
That's the level of success. Is like, we're grabbing, some meat and turkey for sandwiches this week, and some bread, and all of a sudden your song's on. I would freak out. That's so sick.
I would too. I think the Lord has not let that happen for a minute or for a reason, just so there's not a scene in a Kroger.
So this song goes viral. Like, it's got to be. It happens so quickly. When you have a song of that magnitude, like, what was going through your mind when you?
It was a lot to process. It was a lot happening at once. But honestly, with, I told you, I started having, like, record labels reaching out to me and publishing companies and even, like, management things and just conversations I had never thought about, I had never entertained. I just thought that was years and years away. And honestly, all I could think about is people like the music. Like, people like what I'm doing, or at least what I did this one time, it worked. Yeah. And it was the first time, It's not like I didn't believe in myself or whatever, but I had been thinking, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know how this is going to shake out, how it's going to go down. And it was the first time that I was like, wow, like, maybe I actually do have a shot. And maybe this actually could happen for me and I could never have to do anything else again. Like, I could just do music.
Yeah.
All the aspects of music, like even content creation and all of that. But it was a first, like, tangible thing that I was like, something worked. Like, and I have, like, proof that it worked to
Right.
convince people who aren't me just believing it,
Yeah.
you know?
Is that validation coming from the labels reaching out, or is it just coming from the fact that the song did well? Like,
Honestly, I think it was from more than anything, like the fans leaving comments and saying that. I mean, it was a very honest song to me, even though it's upbeat and fun. Like, I just wrote every detail of my life. Like,
Sure.
but my Forerunner is parked out there.
Yeah.
And
great car.
the best, it's just the best.
Yeah.
But I just wrote that song from such a personal place to me, even though it's lighthearted and fun.
Sure.
And it was crazy to me that worked and that connected. I think, I talked to you a little bit about this earlier. I think being a girl, even just being in high school or middle school, like, you wear what everybody else is wearing, you say what everyone else is saying, you
Right.
think whatever everybody else is thinking. And for me to write something so unique to me and that connect with people and me
Sure.
not have to fake it, it was wild to me. And it really changed how I wrote songs. It changed how I was on social media. It changed even, like, me being more confident, because I knew that there were people out there that would like me for who I was.
Sure.
And as a young girl, you don't feel that. It's always true, but you don't always feel it.
I was gonna ask you, and it's interesting to have you on this podcast because there, like, with TikTok and Instagram right now, there are so many young girls that we see, influencers and creators, and some people that are wearing hardly any clothes or like super revealing stuff, right? And there's these like thirst traps that go crazy viral, which says a lot about our culture. But then there's also like, but there's also like in a case like you, like you're battling putting out art and music. You're also trying to be successful in doing so, and sometimes I imagine there's pressure to potentially look a certain way or act a certain way in order to trigger views, even if the end result is still music. But do you feel like pressured to be a little scandalous on social media?
I mean, I've definitely had suggestions from people of, like,
Sure.
what they would do. But honestly, those same people who are giving suggestions, typically you can take them numbers and they'll listen. And I have to say, I've had videos that I've filmed, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm like, she is stunning today. Like, her skin is clear,
You're feeling good,
makeup
right?
is good,
Right.
like, I love this shirt, whatever it is. And my videos that do well, I would say 95% of the time are me in no makeup.
Yeah.
My hair is off in some way. Like, there's either a
Do you
struggle or
think
something.
that it's a
and
realness?
sweatshirt. I think so. I think it's, also you think about the kind of video that if you're already kind of tearing down that facade of somehow, like, talking about a sad song or just details of your life, like, you're getting personal, you're getting real. And at least with me and my music, it is personal, it is real to me. And so being able to reflect that in the video part too, just in the visual, I think it does connect with people better. And also, like, if I think about who I want to watch the video, like, if it, some dude is scrolling, I'm like, oh, well, she's not put together enough. Like, I'm not going to watch this. Well, I don't want you watching either. Like, I want people who want the music. And I think that's why I've seen such a cool, transition of people to follow me on Instagram or to go to my Spotify or whatever, is because, I'm not giving anybody any reasons to stay for anything other than music, I guess.
Right. No, it's great. I think it's hard. How do you stay real? I feel like there's so many people that are on TikTok and on Instagram and all over the internet for the wrong intentions.
Oh, well, yeah. And
which maybe they are the right intentions, because, like, let's face it, some people are on there just to, like, meet somebody famous or make a lot of money, and that's cool. Like, I get it.
Well, even I think if you talk about intentions, there's plenty of times where I get on my Instagram and start scrolling with intentions to see what everybody's up to. And all of a sudden, I'm comparing myself and my success or somebody's song or whatever it is or somebody's life. And all of a sudden, even though my intentions were good, I'm doing not good things for my head and my heart. But I think what honestly helps me view it the healthiest way I can is having a younger sister.
Yeah.
Because I look at her and I'm like, it's you that's following me. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have girls pretty much who are me, my age, and doing similar things. Not music necessarily, but have something they're passionate about, trying to figure out life,
Sure.
figure out family drama, whatever it is. They're the ones following me for the most part. And I look at her and I'm like, well, do I want to edit this picture up? Oh, I sure do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want my sister to feel like she has to do that. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of things like that where, like, putting a person in this weird numbers game, making it more human, makes it easier to be myself and be real.
Right.
Because I think about what I would want her to be influenced by. And if there's people who I'm influencing, even though I don't really mean to, I think about what I would want her to see.
Let me ask you this, though. You check your TikTok numbers?
Oh, yeah.
I assume you look all the time?
Oh, yeah.
I assume you probably look at other people's TikTok numbers.
Oh, yeah.
How do you not compare yourself?
Oh, I
how
do.
you, yeah.
I do.
How do you stay real when looking at somebody else that has more success or less success than you, right? You're always stacking yourself up against these other artists.
For sure. Well, and I can't scroll on TikTok without thinking like, oh, maybe trying something like that would work. Maybe I should steal that idea, whatever it is. But I also can't listen to music without thinking like, oh, that's an interesting rhyme scheme. Maybe something like that would be good. Or they didn't follow the rules here. Maybe I don't have to follow the rules here. When you know how it's made, you can't help but think about how they made it, you know?
Right.
And I think that's like with anybody. I can't imagine the way that a football player must watch a football game. They know so much more than I know. And I'm just like,
you're just like,
those are better colors. I'm rooting for. I'm like, I love it.
I love it. Yeah.
So, you come from that perspective for sure. But I think, especially since moving to town, there's so much good music. And there's so many songs that I know every word to. I love. I think is, one of the best songs out there that a lot of people haven't heard. And I think once you hear that, you know that those numbers don't equate the worth of a song. I mean, honestly, Just Drive isn't my most proud song as a songwriter. Like there's other stuff I've written, put out. There's stuff I haven't put out yet that I'm much more proud of because of the way that, the words twist and you think it's going one way and we're taking a sharp left. And I think it's cool how we did that.
Right.
But sonically, it's something I'm proud of. But lyrically, I'm like, it was just me kind of talking about me, which, as a songwriter that twists, turns, whatever. But I think with Spotify, with Apple Music, with even the radio, like, it's becoming such a singles game. Yeah. To where good music has a place. And as long as you can get it a shot into the world, if people connect with it, there's no stopping it. And I think
I was going to ask you, do you think that good songs are winning right now?
I think songs that are connecting with people are winning. Whether on paper it's a good song or not, it's so subjective. But I mean, I think songs that are making people feel something are winning.
Let me ask you this too. What is a good song? How do we define a good song? Because I feel like sometimes people in Nashville or people in LA or wherever it is in the music industry, they're like, this is not a good song. And then they go through the reasoning of maybe it's the lyrics don't speak to them, or the music isn't as complex as they would have liked, right? Or it's, poorly produced. And of course, there's certain like tiers and barriers that I think a lot of people can agree of what is a good song or not. But then again, what is a good song? Is it the amount of streams it gets? Is it how it connects to people? How do you define a good song? I don't
know. If I knew, I would, be playing arenas right now or something like that. I'd have the formula figured out. But, I think for me, what I've found is the making somebody feel something, whether it's making them feel like it's, 75 and sunny and a good day when they're having the worst day ever, or whether it's being with somebody in that horrible moment of, a breakup or drama or whatever it is. I think that's how I kind of judge it. But even all the things you said about, poor production or, the lyrical content not being whatever, or the music not being complex, you can find songs that break all of those rules that were huge. Right. And I think the common theme is it made somebody feel something. but I don't know. That's my guess. But Lord knows if anybody in this town had it figured out,
Right.
then we'd know that they had it figured out.
Sure. I like that. I think you just speak to authenticity and being real, which
Absolutely.
is like just such a hard game sometimes.
Oh yeah.
On a lighter note,
Yes.
Erin is a young adult. Erin is doing the Snapchat and the Instagram and the TikTok things. Let's just be real here. Your DMs have got to be flooded.
You know, I get a lot of DMs.
Yeah, you do.
But it's kind of funny sometimes. Like it's entertaining, whatever. But honestly, my favorite DMs are from girls like me that
Yeah.
are reaching out again, asking about like first date outfits or telling me about how their, song of mine is them and their boyfriend's like favorite song or like commenting on my dog. Like I posted about my dog the other day and I got so many DMs about
Yeah.
like how cute my dog is. It was like third in the carousel. Like,
Really?
nobody, I could have gotten hyped up, sure.
God,
But I didn't need that. I'd rather them hype him up anyways.
It's gotta be a damn cute dog.
Oh,
You gotta
he
check
is
this out.
stunning.
Yeah.
No, he's the best. Yeah, he's gorgeous. But yeah, I mean, DMs are the Wild West for me, for sure.
Yeah. What's the weirdest DM you've ever got?
I'd have to really think about that. Might be like a trauma thing where I just like block it all out. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I'd really have to think.
Is it mostly?
For the most part, people are pretty normal.
Is it mostly? I mean, you mentioned girls, but is it mostly young guys that are
Honestly,
in the DMs?
it's more so girls, like
Really?
like being friends, and I have
That's
so many
cool.
friends. It's more so that,
You
and
got
which
like
probably
a,
goes
yeah.
back to me like looking homeless on social media a lot. But I
Oh well, I mean, I think again, it's the relatability thing, which I
Yeah.
think maybe a lot of girls tap into. Do you feel like you have a responsibility to like continue to inspire and connect with these
Totally.
fans?
totally.
How do you do that? How do you continue to connect with fans when there's so much media and so much content being consumed?
I think it's taking the time to like really talk to people. I mean, I try to get through as many of my DMs as I can. I could never possibly get through all of them, even just because I, went a week without looking and then I'm, done for. But I think really just taking the time to, even in meet and greets, like really listening to people and that they matter and that, it's
Sure.
not just because I was on stage and you were in the crowd. Like we are like both people and both worth the same amount. So I think like that's the way that I'm trying to love on fans and be there for them is just like,
Sure.
really listen when I can and when I get the opportunity to. But
Yeah.
again, it's something I'm trying to figure out and get better at every day too.
Well, it's hard. There's only so many hours of the day. I was gonna ask.
Oh, yeah.
What, like, I actually asked this question to. I asked two questions to every person I have on this
Ah.
podcast. The first question is, how do you balance life with social media and all the responsibilities? How do you balance your career with your life right now?
I'm definitely not the best at it for sure. It's when so much of it is on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to knock out a few things here and there. I mean, but honestly, I think that's anybody's problem with even if you had a 9 to 5, like you still get emails outside of those hours and things like that. So I think that do not disturb feature on my iPhone, I use a lot. I turned off a lot of my notifications. And I think just, again, this honestly the same way with being with fans. It's like just really trying to be with the people I'm with the best that I can. But also, I don't feel like I'm ever working because I
Sure.
love it. I love editing a TikTok on a plane. Like I don't mind it at all.
That's good that you
Yeah.
do. Some people don't, so I
Yeah.
give you I give you credit there.
I feel lucky that I don't mind it. I get so proud
Yeah.
of it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make the font this and the color this, and I get so into it.
Right.
But it's definitely something I'm working on.
I hear you. Let me ask you this: yes or no?
Okay.
I don't need an explanation. Just
All right.
yes or no. Is TikTok helping the music industry?
I think yes, because I mean, obviously, it helped me personally. But I think it also is going to inspire so many people to go for music, which I don't know what this says about me, but I'm not really worried about there being a ton of people doing it. I think if you love to sing and you love to write, like your music should get a shot. And
Sure.
it's kind of cool because it's an instant feedback situation, and you can test new things out on people. Like I just did a whole thing where I had people sign up for an email list, and they got sent 2 new songs, and they voted on which one they liked better.
That's amazing.
And then the next day we posted the winner on TikTok,
Yeah.
and Instagram Reels and stuff. And I couldn't do that without TikTok. It was
Right.
cool to like really get feedback. And we left like a spot open to where we, being me and my team,
Sure.
but like a spot for people to like type out their thoughts. And it was so interesting to see why people liked what they liked. Because we can get in a room and talk about it all day and guess, but why not just let people talk? I mean, we have like direct communication with the people who really determine if a song does anything. I mean, you watch Morgan Wallen or the Flower Shop song with Ernest.
Sure.
There's hundreds of examples, but just something that I'm sure the music industry liked and was behind, but it was the fans that made it, blow up and go everywhere.
Right.
So I think it's helping.
That's cool.
It gives the fans more of a say, honestly.
Let me
Which is
ask you
cool.
one. Let me ask you one more broader question.
All right.
Our generation, is
Okay.
TikTok good for our generation?
No, I think no.
Are social media good for our generation?
No.
Okay.
I think, there's so many numbers that like support all of that. But again, it's one of those things where like I look at my sister and my God, you already have to compare yourself to the prettiest girl in school. And then you have to compare yourself to the prettiest girl on the platform that you don't know. They might have a personal trainer. They might have a fake tan on. They might have a filter on.
Probably
You
got
have
it all.
No idea. Probably it all. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'd take it all any day, but I, don't
Right.
have it. So it's, I've seen how that's affected her. Honestly, we're like 4.5 years apart. And I remember a world without Instagram. She doesn't. And it's crazy how even just that is so different. Like when I first got Instagram, like my mom was like, "You do not post your face on Instagram. Like there are strangers out there." And so we would like post freaking Tumblr quotes and like the sunset and things. And my sister posted selfies or whatever in like middle school and didn't really think much of it. So it's been crazy like how quickly it's evolved and how quickly it's become so casual. Because those, worries, stress, or whatever that were there when the app first came on, they're all still there. They're just buried now.
Yeah.
It's fun. I love seeing funny videos of
I do
all
too.
the dogs
I think
and the cats.
the one thing that TikTok has educated me on is that we are hilarious as
yeah.
a society.
Oh,
and there are so many funny people out there that are
yeah.
just now showcasing such talents.
It's amazing.
And that part of TikTok, I never want to go away.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's hilarious. And I think it also like it obviously does connect people. Like there's a lot of people that I don't really have anything to say, but I see a video and I think of them and I'm going to send it to them. And
Sure.
because they got that share feature for a reason. So
See, that is an interesting thing too. It's like TikTok is connecting you and your friends, your personal close friends together.
Oh yeah.
It's a way to
awesome.
keep in touch.
Absolutely. No doubt. And
Yeah.
again, it's hilarious. It's awesome. But I think like at the broader thing, like mental health and all of that, it's probably not helping all of that much.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of studies, a lot of data
yeah.
that's going to come out pretty soon about all this stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, I know you got to go. I want to end with like this final segment. I think we called it "With Who" on the last podcast, but basically, I give you just like 5 topics, and I want you to answer with who would you want to do it. If you could do it with anyone in the world, who would you? We'll start with number 1. Who would you want to make a TikTok with?
Who would I want to make a TikTok with? Probably Megan Trainor right now.
I think Megan Trainor would be a vibe.
She
right?
seems awesome.
I completely agree. Who would you want to perform a show with? Any artist in the world?
I'm between two, but
All allowed to.
okay, either Keith Urban or I am the biggest John Mayer fan.
Let's
And
go. I
would
love John Mayer.
love to perform
That's
with John
amazing.
Mayer.
That's amazing.
I saw was it Maren Moyes who did Gravity with him while he was. I was like now, but especially my high school self
Right.
would have done anything. Like jumping
Yeah.
off a bridge, sure. I'm running and jumping. Like,
John
I would have
Mayer's
died.
cool. Hey, can I ask you something?
Oh no, it's Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, not Gravity.
Yeah, and you just need to ask you. This does not count as my question.
Yeah.
Is John Mayer hot?
I think the way he plays guitar is hot. And I think the rest honestly doesn't matter.
I think enough of our society and enough celebrities would say he's hot. All right, we got 3 more questions. Super rapid fire. If you could go to a Christmas party with one artist, who would it be?
One artist, a Christmas party?
Yeah.
I think somebody like Miranda Lambert would throw like a redneck Christmas rager.
I bet it'd be rowdy
And I
as
think
shit.
it would be
right.
awesome.
I think it would be rowdy
I
as
think
shit.
that would be rowdy. That's a good word.
This isn't so much a with who, but a with where. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? If you haven't been yet.
Ooh, that I haven't been yet. I'd love to go to like Greece.
Go to Mykonos, Greece. Come back and tell me what you think.
I would love it. I would love it.
Amazing. And then last question is, if you were to enter a
Oh no.
this is good. No. I'll keep it lighthearted. I was gonna go somewhere else, but I'm gonna keep it lighthearted. If you had to do a like reality TV show, like bring like somebody on a cooking show, who would you bring?
Gordon Ramsay. Done.
Yeah?
Cooking show. Done.
Yeah.
I love it, and I would want him to be as sassy and mean as possible. 'Cause I
Really?
think that would be hilarious. Would I probably cry?
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
But I think it would be awesome.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on this podcast. It's super cool seeing your
course.
success. I know you have
This
a
is
ton
awesome.
of new music coming out next year.
So
Like
excited.
really soon.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to be on tour a lot, so I'm super pumped that you were willing to do
Thank you.
this.
Of
Guys,
course,
Erin
anytime.
Kinsey, and you had some really like interesting thoughts that like other people haven't said, or just different
not like other
takes
girls,
on
so-
stuff. No, you're not. Clearly
Not
not.
like
So y'all make sure to follow Erin. Thanks again,
Thanks.
and we appreciate it.